Here we are with Steve Hackett. I don't want to call you ever as the ex-Genesis. Steve Hackett is a main guitar player, one of the most important in the world, I think. Not only as he plays, but also for what he writes. Out of the tunnel mouth and beyond the shrouded horizon are new things. Am I wrong?
Yes. They were the most recent studio recordings, although Out of the Tunnel's Mouth was actually done at home in the living room, so it's not really a studio. My apartment became a studio, but they are recent recent albums, and the last one was more of a studio effort, Beyond the Shrouded Horizon. A lot of different kinds of music, but it seems to have worked. I seem to be in a new sort of trajectory at the moment. Seem to be very energized to write a lot of different kinds of things and many different projects at the moment. So it's a very good time. Lovely to be here in Italy, of course.
Yes, but if you listen to the last album, I think you can see Spectral Mornings or Voyage of the Acolyte. There are something you could discover.
Probably, yes. I think something to discover. There are many different styles. I think when I was doing Acolyte, I was trying to combine a number of different styles. Some of them were more aggressive, but in the main it was a very melodic kind of album, and very little improvisation on it, very fixed in a way. I think there's probably more soloing on the more recent stuff, and the range of styles is probably wider. You have even the influence of some country music with a place called Freedom. So, the 12-string guitars are not just doing the usual English kind of thing. It's more the kind of twinning that, mixture of that with banjo and a bit of harmonica and things that are more to do with Americana and a kind of a pioneering feel, if you like, even with the vocal harmonies, a sort of almost a kind of revival kind of feeling about it.
And when you think about, you wrote me some days ago when, for the interview of the newspaper, that your preferred album of the Genesis era was Selling England. Yeah. But what kind of approach you have with that music now?
Well, I still love Selling Them by the Pound, and I'm also re-recording some Genesis tunes. I'm working on a second version of Genesis Revisited, so Genesis Revisited number 2, 15 years later than that, and it goes on and on and on. And I will take this show on the road, so I will take a Genesis show on the road, and people have asked for a long time if I would do something like that. So I'm answering that call. So I'm looking forward to doing it, and also on record reinterpreting some of those things. So some things will alter more drastically than others, but other things will be. I would try and preserve the spirit, and also do something that. Some pieces that are derived from Genesis. They're things that I either wrote with some of the people in the band, the input of Mike Rutherford, and things that were in a style of the band of the 70s, but at a time when I think the band was at its most experimental. I wouldn't even say most progressive, because we weren't really aware that we were doing progressive music at that time. We thought we were doing something that people were later calling it fusion, before they were calling it progressive. So it was described variously as art rock or English rock. Latterly, of course, the all-embracing term progressive. But some of the songs were very short, progressive I don't feel the need to always have to do something that's the length of Supper's Ready, although I'm going to re-record Supper's Ready, so I'm looking forward to doing that, and as I say, try and preserve the spirit very much of that, as it was something that defined the early band.
A little curiosity. Is it true that Please Don't Touch was what Gorilla, or better, it should be in place?
Well, if you said that, if you felt that it should be, I always felt that it should have been part of that, because I felt that it was very strong, and I kind of based the next album I did once I left the band on that, and it was something that the guys complimented me on it once I'd done that. Please Don't Touch. The guys in the band, Phil seemed to particularly like Please Don't Touch, and the guys also liked Randy Crawford, the use of Randy Crawford, and of course Richie Havens. I had marvelous vocal performances from other people before I was really singing myself. So yes, I think that it really was a good part of that. Also, I think there was Inside and Out, which was part of the Spot the Pigeon EP, and I felt that was very strong and perhaps should have been part of the thing with Wind and Wuthering. So it was part of those sessions, really.
It was a step ahead.
Well, I guess it was. It was Please Don't Touch, you mean? Yeah. Well, I think it was somewhere that because there was the mixture of a theme that was used in That Quiet Earth, and Unquiet Slumbers for the Sleepers, actually. The theme of that seemed to be very strong with that rhythm. So there was the influence, I remember, of Weather Report, and Phil had that rhythm and the very fast Bayon rhythm, which was marvelously good. And Phil was very good at using those rhythms, like on Trick of the Tail with Los Endos, to be able to give something real power. So you could have something very big on top, but moving very, the drums moving very fast underneath to power it and motor it, really. So, but I've worked with lots of really incredible musicians, and the band I have at the moment, I think they're extraordinary. They're not just a backing band; they are extraordinary in their own right. They're many of them are very well known players and singers, and I feel very, very lucky to have such a great team working on Revisited #2, as well as the albums I'm doing at the moment.
So we see you next year with Genesis Revised.
I certainly I hope so. I hope so. If I manage to get the thing finished on time, and we manage to mount the kind of show that I would like to do with it, so it can be. I hope that it will be visually an interesting show.